अस्सलाम वालेकुम सामीन, मैं सरवर खान गोल्डन टॉक में मौजूद हूँ अपनी मेहमान दोस्त कैसर के साथ। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
तो आप हमें बताइए, आज आपके पास बहुत सारी हमारे लिए बातें हैं। इसमें हमें ये बताइए कि पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड क्या होता है, ख़ासतौर पे पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड ज़िंदगी की तरफ या सेल्फ की तरफ क्या होता है, कैसा होता है?
Positive attitude means you are thinking good about yourself, something positive, and you are thinking good about the others. For example, if somebody said something you didn't like, at least you look at the positive things in that person. So automatically you will forget the negative thing. So negative thing like whining. The person who whines all the time, that means he's a negative person, and he's never satisfied in his life because he always has complaints against other people. So positive attitude is like a healthy kind of attitude towards yourself and towards the others. You always think that, where am I standing? Am I doing good? Some people have kind of that I'm always good. The others are always bad, No, you think the other way around. You ask is called, in Urdu is called tazkiya nafs, means yourself. You have to think yourself what you're doing, and what you're doing is acceptable in your society and acceptable for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay.
And if you're doing that, of course, you will have a positive attitude. And once you have positive attitude, no depression at all.
Okay. And so also please explain us about the stages of life. How do you deal with the stages of life? So you have past, you have present, you have future. What do you do?
So past is always painful. But if you had a very good past, it becomes painful in the present. Because those joyful and happy time you had in your life, they are no longer with you, and that makes you depressed. We have to accept the reality of life, but this is the life. This is the time. And the time goes on. Time changes. It doesn't stand still. So if you have this attitude, this is also includes in the positive attitude that, the past is gone, it's not going to come back, and this is how it is, and we have to continue our life. We have to go on with our life.
Okay.
So it's very important, and that's the problem, that once you are stuck in your past or in your mazi,
yes,
then it causes depression.
Okay.
Because the mazi never comes back.
That is very true. And so have you heard of this new term people are saying so many times, mindfulness? What is that? If you can explain me that a little bit. What's mindfulness?
Mindfulness is like attentive mind, not absent mind. So whatever you are doing, you are thinking, this well planned, and you are doing with your good planning. It's called mindfulness. You are not absent-minded. You think of something, you're doing something else. Like for example, you are doing namaz. You have to do with your mindfulness.
Okay.
And you have to think that you are who you're standing in front of. You are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so your mind has to be attentive. Okay. Your mind has to know that what you are doing. So with the absent-minded, you would not gain anything because nothing going in.
Yes. Okay. And what do you say about the importance of social interaction in nowadays?
Yes, loneliness is one of the causes of the depression, because you don't have anybody to share your problems. You don't have anybody to share you share your life with. So social, and the person is a social animal anyway. So we cannot live without friends, and friends are very, very important in your life. So social interaction is very, very important. If you, these days in the busy life, you don't have time to visit people or have people visit you, at least call them or text them.
Yes.
Texting doesn't take long. Tell her, I miss you, I love you, let's get together. And it also helps with your depression.
Okay. So also, please, if you don't mind explaining us a little bit about the importance of prayers. And you said something about how important it is just to give a smile to your parents, and that will...
Important for the parents or prayers?
No, the prayers, and also the importance of just giving a smile to your parents.
In Islam, the parents have, Allah Ta'ala said, if I had permitted you to bow in front of, I would have, after me, I would have given you the permission to bow in front of your parents. So Allah Ta'ala, after him, he gives the importance to your parents. And the parents, and even then, that if you look at your parents or one of the parents and have a smiley face, you would get a sawab or ajr for a hajj. It doesn't mean you it's like hajj, but it would be that much
equivalent.
It would be that much sawab as going to hajj.
Okay. Also, please explain us a little bit about charity or sadaqah in the importance of
charity. I think in all religions, Christianity, all religions have the charity, because Allah Ta'ala wrote those books. Allah Ta'ala wrote the Christian books, and those Jews books, those Bible, they made up the Bible, but Torah and Injil, and Allah Ta'ala gave very, very importance to charity. And it says, in Hadith it says that the sadaqah cools off Allah's anger.
Okay.
And sadaqah, when you, I have a very good episode in my life, and I really, really, and since then I became, such a strong believer in sadaqah. One time, it was Friday on Ramadan, I saw the red juice was running from the refrigerator. It was like June or May. It was pretty hot day. So, and I had taken the class new, so I was learning all those sadaqah, the importance of sadaqah. So I was and I opened the fridge, and it was all warm. Everything melted down. All the frozen food, all the juices, and the ice creams, and everything melted down. So I called the Home Shield, and I asked them that this will happen, and when can you come on? I said, we'll come on Monday. And so what's going to happen till Monday? Because it was Friday, and it was month of Ramadan. So what I did, I said, okay, I took the appointment, and then very quickly I gave a sadaqah, put one away, some sadaqah, and then I did 2 nafil namaz. And I came down, and I saw the noise from my refrigerator, and I opened the door. It was so cold, and everything was,
amazing.
Everything was getting cooler, and and I couldn't believe it. And after a couple of hours, it was in a good shape, like it was before, and never, ever since. It's been 4 years, never, ever happened.
Wow. That's really interesting to know that how sadaqah can bring something back.
The first person to give sadaqah is your parents.
Okay. How so? How do you do that?
You just put it away, and Rabbi, there are a couple of words. Rabbi arhamuma kama rabbiyani saghira. अल्लाह ताला मेरे पेरेंट्स को पर रहम कर, जैसे उन्होंने मुझ पर रहम किया जब मैं मेरी बचपन में.
सही.
तो ये करके, and then पेरेंट्स के लिए सदका दे दो, and then you can give other sadaqas for yourself or your family or for any, but the parents come first.
So when you say you're giving sadaqah, so you're taking some money and giving it to poor? Is that how we do it?
Well, I have a very good system. What I did when I heard that, I heard on TV. And also, sadaqah is like helping a poor person is also sadaqah. It's not only money.
Okay.
there's a episode. It's a true episode that someone's mother was in ICU, and he came home to get changed, and then so he could go back to the hospital. So he got home and he had lunch or whatever, and he he got changed and everything, and then he took off to go to the hospital. On the way, he saw a cat, the cat was in a great pain, and he got out of his car and then looked at the cat, and one of her paws was injured somehow, and the blood was coming out. So very, very, very nicely he picked up the cat. Rather than going to the hospital, even though the mother wasn't critical, he came home and he bandaged the cat's, clean and bandaged his paw and gave him something to eat, to drink. They'll give him milk to drink. And then he went back to the hospital. What he sees there, the mother was sitting up.
Wow.
And he said, "Mom, you were in critical. You were in ICU. What happened?" I said, "Bete, I had a dream that a cat was praying for me. So all these animals pray for you.
Yes.
Like even birds.
See.
Even all those animals, the dogs and cats, they pray for you."
Yeah, that's why I remember we always have a bowl of water outside for birds to come and then drink that water, and they probably pray.
Yeah.
Okay. So please also explain us a little bit more about will and the importance of will. That's also, I think, part of our life.
Will is something that would take in force after you are no longer here. Right?
Yes.
So in Islam, there is a hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said that a Muslim has to have a will. Okay. If he dies without a will, then he'll get the punishment. That because if you don't leave a will, it causes fitna. It causes dispute among the relatives, the siblings. So will is very important. Everybody has to have a will in Islam.
Okay, that's very good to know. I really appreciate all the talk you did with us. It's really very important. One last topic I wanted to touch base with you about the importance of keeping good relationship with your blood relation. You said something about how important it is not to be, have an everyday contact with your blood relation people. So please explain a little bit.
It's a hadith that with your relatives, when you are doing sadaqah or charity, first you have to look at your closest relatives. So who is, who deserves this, okay? Then you go to your neighbor. Allah Ta'ala gave stages. First relatives, closest relative, and then you go to your neighbor. Okay. That make sure your neighbor is not going to bed hungry, and then to the travelers, your travel companion, because when you are traveling, sometimes people are in trouble. They lose their money or something like that. So they have their right to taken care of. And then everybody else. And then, of course, yourself, your family, first your parents.
Yes.
And Allah Ta'ala gave the categories.
Okay.
So when you are helping, when you give me sadaqah or just helping financially, first you look at your parents, you look at yourself, because you have to be healthy, you have to be taken well care of, so you are able to take care of others. And then your family. And of course, your parents are in your family, but your parents come first in your family. And then everybody else. Then you look at the other relatives beside your your blood relations, the other relatives. So that's how it goes. And then everybody else, whoever deserves it.
Okay. Please also explain us. You lived here a long time in America, and you have away from your culture. And how did you raise your own children and your own values, and how did you set your own goals to live a very goal-oriented life here? I would like to just know a little bit about it, please.
I don't know. It just came out. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And this is not my job. I think it's Allah Ta'ala, this is how Allah Ta'ala meant it. One thing is that sabr is very, patience. Allah Ta'ala loves people who are patient.
Who have patience, yes.
So being here by myself, because my husband wasn't here, and we always, just waited for him. And but I've been very patient. I never, whine or never complain against him. And I don't know how Allah Ta'ala helped me. I don't know how He helped me. I just don't know. Maybe the patience that I had. And I always smile. Never ever had a long face or even sad face. Nobody knows what is going inside, what's going on inside me. So I'm happy and try to keep other people happy and be patient. That's how everything turned out good.
Okay.
MashaAllah. Yeah, getting back to sadaqas, sadaqah is any good deed is sadaqah. Anything or any gesture that makes other person happy is sadaqah, because you are making other person happy because of you. So it's all sadaqah.
जी, तो बहुत शुक्रिया आंटी. तो आज आपने हमारी गोल्डन टॉक में गोल्डन बात कह दी कि हर आपकी जो अच्छा काम है, अच्छी चीज़ है, ये अच्छा आपका आप जो भी अमल करते हैं वो एक सदक़े की तरह होता है और उसका सवाब मिलता है. बहुत शुक्रिया सामीन, आपने हमको सुना. अब हमको इजाज़त दीजिए. हम अगले एपिसोड में फिर हाजिर होंगे. खुदा हाफिज़.
खुदा हाफिज़.